Hi, everyone. My name is Carly, and I'm a program manager here with Junior Achievement of North Florida. We're thrilled that you're here to learn a little bit more about entrepreneurship. And today we're focusing on what's your advantage. So, we've been highlighting some of the elements of a successful startup. First, we talked about being an informed entrepreneur. You have to know about starting a business, have to know the skills and the key information to develop your product. You have to have the right product. So, is it in demand? Is it something that fits the needs of your community? Third, you have to have the right market or customers. You have to know how to sell to them, how to make sure that they're interested and want or need your product. And then today we're going to talk about specific competitive advantages to make sure that you have developed one for your product or service. Okay, so for today, you're going to need access to the handout that's listed as a resource for this session. You're also going to need a piece of paper and a pencil or pen, something that you can use to create something towards the end of our session. All right, so what do I mean by competitive advantages? Well, those are the expectations and behaviors of a business that set it apart from its competitors through improvements in quality, value, and delivery. Once an entrepreneur decides on a product, they have to develop these competitive advantages so that they stay relevant and they're prosperous. They're also called their core business values. And a company has to offer some kind of positive variation of the business that makes customers choose its product over its competitors. So, we're going to talk today about what that looks like. So, for example, a business owner might decide to sell a variation on a common tool, or something that is a little bit different than its competitors at a different price. And we'll talk about what that looks like. So there are three ways that you can gain competitive advantage. The first is to change the quality. Let's think about cosmetics or makeup. We know there's hundreds of cosmetic companies on the market. You have to think about a lot of different factors when it comes to those cosmetics. So, would you rather produce an inexpensive makeup line that's distributed at discount stores or a high quality, expensive product only sold at select distributors? You might also choose to produce and sell to a smaller, specialized cosmetic market like movie companies or acne patients or others with unique needs. So you have to figure out what quality will make you the most competitive in your market. Second is to change the value. So you can also gain competitive advantage beyond just how the product looks or feels. It could offer unique incentives to employees to increase the quality of a product, or you could provide exceptional customer service. So I know a lot of people often think of Chick-fil-A and how kind and respectful they are to their customers. That value that they add through their customer service really adds a competitive advantage. Third would be to change the delivery. So this could be focusing on a consistent priority. For example, if the product is economical, then greater effort must be taken to keep its costs low. So this is an element that has to be a focus of business. So there's 5 rules for selecting competitive advantages. What you're going to do is you're going to go to your handout now. And in your handout, it has the 5 rules, but it has blank spots for you to fill in the key definitions as I share them with you. So all I want you to do is to type in where you see the underline. So you could just write like, choose only a hat. I'm clearly not picking the accurate word, but you can go ahead and update your handout now so you can keep that as a resource for your 5 rules. All right, so let me share those with you now. The first rule is choose only a few and keep them simple. Business owners may have dozens of things that they target and want to do well, but they should select only a few competitive advantages that guide the daily behavior of employees. These advantages should have a clear meaning and be easy to understand and remember so employees learn them and current employees know them. They should be a major focus for all employee training. So the key is if we're only picking a few and they're easy to remember, it's easy for the employees to remember them and it'll help to guide behavior. Because if you have too many, it's going to be really hard to remember all of the things that make you unique. Rule 2 is to choose only those that raise your competitive advantage. So your advantage should do something positive for the product or your customer. They should make your product better, easier to use for the customer, or set it apart from the competition. Do not select an advantage just because it sounds great, makes employees feel good, or is the target of some other business. Avoid vague, meaningless sayings. A bad example would be posting signs everywhere in a factory that say, "We love all our employees." A better example might be, "When employee safety is first, we all win." Finally, the advantage cannot be strictly profit-based. Although profit is a goal of business, it cannot be a primary competitive advantage. It will be difficult to persuade customers to buy from you or employees to work from you if you only care about making money. So really thinking about how competitive advantage positively impacts your customer or the product. Really thinking about how it makes it elevated or even better. Rule 3, it's not a competitive advantage until you and your employees act on it. So clever, encouraging sayings posted around the office may make for a pleasant work environment, but they aren't advantages until they are respected by those who act on them. Imagine that a boss finds out that 1 in 4 products produced is flawed and can't be sold. He or she then posts signs that say, "Craftsmanship counts." Will this alone change behavior? Probably not. If the boss builds an enormous transparent bin containing all the imperfect products for employees to see and frequently calls attention to it, that more than likely will change their behavior, as could a bonus plan that rewards craftsmanship. So when we think of that competitive advantage, make sure it's something that people will do and see, but that they really have the ability to act upon and that their behavior is visible and noticeable. All right, so rule number 4, choose only those advantages that you personally act on and won't compromise. So imagine a business that uses dangerous equipment in its production and posts signs telling workers to be safe. What if a piece of that equipment needs replaced, but the boss says no? That isn't safe and the employees know it. The message being sent, safety counts until it costs the company. Keep in mind, your employees are watching you every day. If you respect the advantage of safety, they will do the same. So, again, really thinking about if it's something that we're going to act on, we can't ever change that. That's a core value and we have to live it every day because your employees are going to expect you to do it. And the final rule, the secret to a successful competitive advantage, compromise. The key to employees focusing on a company's expected behavior is enforcing consequences. And that's not just bad, it's rewards and penalties. A business owner faces consequences daily. If the competitive advantages are or are not demonstrated, profits will rise or fall, and customers will increase or decrease. If the same results are true for employees, they will act on the targeted advantages. For example, if a competitive advantage is to keep current customers forever, but the sales staff is paid the same for reorders as for new orders. They have no incentive to retain the existing customer base. If they are rewarded for reorders, their behavior will reflect the company's competitive advantage. So sometimes we have to, as a business owner, make sure that we're acting in a way that will help us to show and continue to commit to our competitive advantages. Okay. Well, now that we've discussed the rules or some suggestions around competitive advantage, we're going to focus on one company, and we're going to think about why they are in the Competitive Advantage Hall of Fame. So on your handout, you have a profile on page 2 of McDonald's. And I want you to imagine that an entrepreneurial organization has nominated McDonald's for the Competitive Advantage Hall of Fame, and you have been hired to create a poster based on this profile. After we read the profile together, you're going to design a poster that promotes McDonald's for a Competitive Advantage Hall of Fame. Your poster is going to have the company's name prominently displayed, a brief description of the company, including its products and customers, and some facts about the company's specific competitive advantages and how it informs those advantages across its venture. And try to make it as attractive as you can to appeal to the company's customers. Your real goal here is to help to show what are the things about McDonald's that are its best competitive advantages. So let's go to the handout. So this is your description on your handout. The McDonald's Corporation's competitive advantages are summed up in its 4 values, originating with founder Ray Kroc and still displayed at McDonald's across the world. For example, for the value of product quality, it wasn't enough to make a good burger. According to Kroc, you gotta see the beauty in a hamburger to succeed in the hamburger business. His other 3 values are noted in the bulleted lists below. So as we know, McDonald's products are fast food restaurants, food, beverages, and playgrounds. His customer is diverse worldwide customer base. So like we talked about before with demographics, he really meets a lot of different demographics. So the other 3 competitive advantages: 1, consistency of service. Customers can rely on product and service consistently at any McDonald's anywhere in the world. Next is cleanliness. Kroc was adamant about keeping restrooms clean. He believed that was why parents brought their kids to McDonald's. And finally, cost. Kroc wanted McDonald's to set a new world standard for keeping the price of hamburgers, shakes, and French fries low for everyone. All right. So now that we've talked about some of the qualities of McDonald's, I want you to plan to take about 10 minutes to prepare and make your display using the qualities that are listed up here on the screen, but also on your handout. Okay. Take about 10 minutes to do so. Go ahead and pause your video now. All right. Well, great job in completing your Competitive Advantage Hall of Fame promotional material. So in summary, successful entrepreneurs carefully determine 2 or 3 competitive advantages and then consistently maintain those advantages in their venture. Thanks for joining us today.